is an app that brings together drivers that need spaces to park their car in and free parking spots, usually private-owned parking spots. The reason why I chose parking is because parking made a transformation or started with the new direction in 2016. In summer, the Go founding team came up with an idea of helping and providing something new to the same customers they already had on their platform, and through a basic brainstorming they realized it could be a car washing service. So through the same app they're able to now find car washing services that are available. The cool part about parking is they didn't have any special strategy. The owner and CEO Gustas Kõiv that I talked to told they didn't have to do anything specific to find the strategy. They just went on a pilot and called Myynti and Olerex car washing services and told what their ability for an app is and what is it that the car washing services need. After 2 months of pilot, they realized the scalability is huge, and they decided it is something that has a huge potential, because when a parking app industry has tons of competitors, then car washing area is almost uncovered, and they realized they could start a franchise business where people could just buy their platform and form their own similar businesses in other areas in the world, and they could be just selling this. They didn't have any strategy, it was just brainstorming and just checking, doing the pilot. And when I asked CEO Gustas what the parking would look like, parking app would look like in 100 years, he said there would not be apps anymore for car drivers because the cars will be having the internet connection and operating system on them, and the car would know by themselves where to go and if they need a car washing or any other services. So, but the platform now, as of parking, is already developing and ready for this new mobility with the cars and for the new things to come in the future. The best way to communicate with investors, and they have around 930,000. We need to skip color. The biggest part of the communication that I learned from this interview is that they mainly use the face-to-face communication, because this certain industry of car washers is mainly older people, therefore not too many people using the mobile apps, so they just do really calm and slow presentation of how their app would help people to find their car washing services. And they have an experience of trying to involve too much money in a too early stage of the business, so the CEO tried to get an investment of 1 million euros, and it was too soon in the beginning, and later on he realized it was the business wasn't ready for it. So these were my takeaways. Parking is an app that matches car drivers that need parking spots with the private-owned parking spots, and the payments go through the mobile app, which makes it extremely easy to use.
So I had an interview with a business manager from Sandoz Estonian branch. Sandoz is a global pharmacy company and is a part of a huge global company, Novartis Group. Their purpose is quite noble. They want to discover new ways how to improve and extend people's lives. This means that they want to help people around the world to access to high quality medicines. Estonian branch is not engaged to nor production nor innovation. They are more like a sales unit, and it is globally centralized. They have global vision, strategy, values, knowledge, competence, know-how, risk management, etc. What they can do locally is they have different tactics for selling prescription medicines and over-the-counter medicines. Tactics, this means that it relates to how much they sell, which product, when they sell, and what is the price level. And also, important part in tactics is advertising. This is something where they have a huge power to raise their number of customers. And there are also different ways how to emphasize their products. I think most important part in their business is actually forecasting. They have to predict quite precisely which products, what price level, how much they are going to sell during the next season. And this is something where they can totally fail or be totally successful. To forecast that precisely, they need to have really good input data, and this input data is based on their own numbers, which they gather their own customers, their own products, prices. But for me, what was new information is that they use quite a lot information about their competitors, and that they pay for that information. This also includes how much their competitors advertise which products, what is their price level, how many customers they have, etc. And this all data is put together, and they use it to forecast their production. So this is something really important for them, and also really interesting for me too. And finally, what I think that the pharmacy business is definitely endless business, as people are getting older and older, but they still need different kind of medicines to feel good, to get better, and to live longer. So I think this business is endless. But I also think that they face quite difficult future challenges. For example, they still have to produce affordable medicines. There are several risks that they have to also mitigate to continue.
I did my research about Coolbet, which is an online sports betting and casino company. I interviewed two members of their squad, CEO and CMO, so marketing side and managing side. I based my work on an analysis of Jerome Kraienberg framework and brought out some definitions, how the value is being made in the company, also how the value is being captured, created and sustained. So I also brought out some things that could be challenging for the company, and also some risks the company could face in the process. I would like to talk about some other things that I didn't cover. Gambling company, they have an interesting thing, like a responsible gaming panel. It means that if they see that some of their client might be in trouble, they try to call them, try to talk to them, also even maybe call some timeout or even limit their account. The other thing I was looking was like marketing side. I see that they use a lot of offline marketing. It's interesting for an online company. They're using a lot of billboards. Also, they use brand ambassadors like well-known athletes, like footballers, like Ragnar Klavan or Johan Lindberg, for example. That is using for marketing. For example, they are making a lot of tournaments, like using a lot of offline content. Like for example, in Norway, they are making a poker tournament in every county and advertise it also on the newspaper. It is part of the strategy because they want to always be visible, defined and focused for the clients. They also have different marketing strategies for different countries. For example, in Estonia, they are using a lot of casino marketing and gambling side because Estonians are not that common on sport betting. In the other countries, they are on sports betting side because in Norway and Scandinavian countries, the sport betting is I asked one interesting question from the CEO of Coolbet, Jan Svensson. I asked him what would be the products you would use from your portfolio to pay your utility bills. He smiled a bit and said that he would use casino products because sports betting is much more complicated, and if you don't need sports betting, they would have sitting in the dark at the moment already. The other things I asked him was why you chose Estonia to build your company. He said that he had worked with Estonians previously in Triobet, the other company, gambling company, and he said the forming of the team was very easy. And Estonians are very knowledgeable on the IT side, also digitalization and all kind of stuff. The minuses would be that salaries are rising a lot in Estonia, and that they don't save much money on the business anymore on the salaries. The final thing I'd like to say that amazed me the most was to talk to the also CMO. They have the quickest customer support on the online casino. I've tried some other products also, some online casino products, and they have a very slow customer support. Coolbet is really trying to make competitive edge with their customer support. I think in the long run it would be a great asset for their clients.
In this homework, I interviewed Pipedrive research and development people. One was head of department, Jaanus Kase, and one was her teammate, Paolo Koppel. Pipedrive is a company who's developing CRM web application and mobile app, and it is perspective of salesperson. It was founded by 5 guys. They had trouble. They needed a good sales tool, but they couldn't find from the market. So what you gonna do? You have a problem, you solve it. So they made a web application, but they needed money. They went to USA and they got the money. So, and now they have like 400 people on the board, and in this year there is a prediction for this turnover is like something like 20 million euros. So it seems that there is like, how to say, wonder story, that the guys had a good idea, they had a luck, and now they have a super company. But if I interviewed people and I deep dived, for me it was that they have built very good strategy. First of all, they focused on the small customers. So the guys focused on the sales process. They wanted that it should be as simple as possible. On the 8th year, they saw that they have a lot of customers, but they are small ones. They have very few users, and they wanted more end users. That means larger accounts. Also, the larger accounts are more loyal because to change the system, it is time-consuming, money-consuming. So this year they are building a better solution from perspective sales managers. And if to analyze Pipedrive as a business case from perspective Gerard Triangle, then you see that all these 10 elements are covered. So, and also for me it was very surprising that how innovative they are. They're thinking from customers' perspective, they're making interviews, also they analyzing how they are using the system. But this is not all. They also now creating in a company hackathons and trying to create design thinking. So if I interviewed the persons, I felt that this is a very amazing company. Of course they have challenges, because if you focus too much to a product, then it's risky that maybe you're not seeing all the trends. But for me it seems that they are covering and monitoring competitors, and also what are the future trends. So I wish for the company all the best and good luck, and I think we hear pretty amazing stories about Pipedrive.